BSdiscover. Welcome. I got a special video today. This means something to me. I hope I get it through. I hope I get no copyrights just because of the influencer. So come and join the video. Today, this video is by Adam Marker. I'm doing a reaction on they finally got arrested. But the subject was shocking.
There's nothing more masculine than having your red pill friend take off your chain while you're being arrested for rape and sex trafficking. Lord have mercy. All right, everybody, we have some wild breaking news, and we finally have some good news to bring for you all. The Tate brothers, the influencer, manosphere influencers who treat women terribly, who give young men advice on how to treat women, and it's always terrible advice, they have officially been arrested in Miami and are being extradited back to the United Kingdom, where they will be facing human trafficking and rape charges. Now, of course, the charges themselves are heinous, and we'll dig into them in just 1 minute while watching the video of them being arrested. But I think it's good news because this is the first time in a while I felt like these men who are in power, who abuse their power to screw over women and screw over people who, don't have as much power, don't have as much money, don't have as much clout, so to speak. This is the first time we are seeing real and true accountability. The Tate brothers have been on the run for years and years and years. In fact, they moved from the United States to the United Kingdom and then moved to Romania, and they cited Romania's lax laws around the treatment of women and around human trafficking. Romania apparently has very relaxed laws around these things, but not relaxed enough for them to still be caught the moment they stepped foot in Miami. So,
Wow. Woman. I'm a woman. You see the woman in me? Well, Miami. Well, I was interested in this because I was in Florida. I'm in New York now. And the reason I left Florida, because I saw this type of treatment with women. And I started to see it in businesses. And I started to see it with co-workers. And I started to see it in the street. Guys will walk in the street and hold their private and look at you like, it's like the whole attitude has changed. It's like they got this total disrespect for women. I don't know what's targeted with just me, but I'm not a bad individual. I don't think I deserve that type of behavior from anybody. But it reminds me of that. It reminds me when guys started to actually take their shirt off. It's a sign to have nothing. And they wanted to take everything from us women. Let's get back to this.
I'll show you the full video in just 1 second. It's very, very interesting. But the brothers landed in Miami and were arrested by federal authorities, according to the U.S. Marshal Service. The charges against the pair were announced pretty immediately. We have 7 counts of rape, 3 counts of arranging or facilitating trafficking for sexual exploitation, 3 counts of assault occasioning actual bodily harm, and 19 additional charges for offenses related to indecent images of a child and extreme pornography. Disgusting, despicable, and you know what tweet I found from Andrew Tate? I was scrolling through his tweets to see if he said anything about being free or about Trump, and I found this one. I think I was one of the first people to stumble upon this. He said, back in 2025, the Tates will be free, Trump is the president. The good old days are back, and they will be better than ever. Hold on. The man who was saying that the Tates will be free because Trump is president is now being charged with actual child pornography, 7 counts of rape, 3 counts of facilitating trafficking for sexual exploitation. And I just want to give a trigger warning. In one moment, I'm going to dig into what they're actually being accused of doing, like what they actually did on a minute level. And it is so disgusting. It is so despicable. And these men should be locked away for a while. I always talk on my show about how I'm a young dude. I'm 23 years old. I grew up in Indiana. I live in Chicago. To me, finding role models that I can look up to is very, very important. So Barack Obama has been a huge role model throughout my life. There are certain comedians or actors or people in the arts that I look up to, of course. I look up to Christopher Nolan a lot. He just came out with a new movie. It's really good. But I've also pointed out on my channel how the role models that exist online and in politics right now are actually just dog shit. We have Donald Trump, somebody who has been accused of rape 27 times and held civilly liable of sexual assault. We have Elon Musk, just an absolute weirdo. We have Stephen Miller. We have J.D. Vance. We have all of these right-wing figures who beat women and are just terrible people. And on the mountain of all of those terrible people lies the Tate brothers, lies Andrew and Tristan Tate. I have had to watch young men's minds, like my friends, their minds being distorted by the Tate brothers because they give this advice that is absolutely dog shit. Their advice is basically disrespect women. Women don't have feelings, so you can treat them however you want. And basically, you can kind of see how their advice led them directly to this point in life right now. So before I play this video for you of them being arrested, let me just explain the extradition process. There is a formal treaty.
Yeah, well, wow. I lived in Florida, and Miami, Florida is not far from Jacksonville, Duval, 2-hour ride or something like that. Am I wrong? 3? Well, I'm talking Orlando. But one thing I do know is that our politicians was going towards something they would say, we're going to make America great again. That America great again, on my opinion, was getting things back to where they have control over women. So when I saw that officials were allowing people to treat us like anything at a job, there's no way you can complain. If you complain, it was the higher superior that was a part of what is going on. If you was intact with what was going on, or if you follow Trump and a lot of things that are going on, because I'm trying to figure out what's going on. He fired a lot of administration. Now, if I'm having problems, that's why you saw a lot of people leaving their jobs in the White House and so on. Because we got nobody we can turn to who's going to do things right. So I know, and I was told, and I saw it from my own eyes, because even when there were so many people applying for unemployment, so many people applying for unemployment. You would go to unemployment, they don't want to help you. You know, when you go to office and the people sit down try to help you, they ain't want to help you. They wanted you to fall because they want you to fall into the plan they had. And the plan was to get you in them streets, prostituting yourself, because they didn't care about you anymore. They didn't care. I saw women prostituting in Florida. First it started the homeless, then moving on up. And I got on my Facebook, and once I get on my Facebook or wherever I get social media, cops are coming through, people are coming through. Trust me, it ain't going on down there. So I made a lot of enemies. Because it could be my daughter if I had a daughter. Or it could be me. So we got to be watchful of what's going on. Sometimes you got to be watchful even what's going on around your family, things that's going on. And when this young man, Adam, brought this to light, I've been waiting, I told somebody today, for this information. Because I knew, I don't know if it's the white supremacy, but somebody with a lot of power is trying to bring prostitution to its highest. Let's get back.
Based process between the United States, the UK, many other countries as well. But the United States and the UK are able to coordinate in order to use the United States as extradition grounds and the UK as the courts and the House Secretary once the person arrives in Britain. So right now, the Tate brothers are likely on their way back to the UK to finally face trial. They have been in friendly countries for a while, going from Romania to other countries where they can't be extradited. Now we have more info about the allegations. We have the video of them being arrested. Let me play this video for you, and then on the other side of this, I'm going to explain a little bit more about the charges and what they actually did, because it's disgusting. Allegedly, they would fly women in to Romania and other places in the UK, and then they would take those women's passports away and then exploit them to make sexual content, like online OnlyFans type content, porn type content. And they would quite literally hide the woman's passport, so the woman has no way to find a way out, to get back home, is basically trapped there and reliant on the brothers. Actual human trafficking. Let me play for you this clip, and then I'll commentate a bit over it, and I'll visit you on the other side. As always, if you appreciate the fast breaking news that we bring you all, the easy to understand breakdowns, make sure you drop a like, make sure you subscribe. We live and breathe on independent media, and we appreciate each and every single one of you for supporting us. Check out this video. I'm gonna let it play out.
Mr. Tate, would you mind signing? Tate.
No way someone asked him for a signature when he was being arrested. No way. So this is in Miami as the cars are pulling up and arresting him. Tate is in the purple shirt. He should be arrested for wearing this outfit before anything else.
Mr. Tate, would you mind signing? Tate.
That's his brother over on the right that weirdly looks like he's in like an Amish costume. What? That right there is red pill mogul Justin Waller. Justin Waller also has a completely distorted ideology surrounding women. Listen, I know none of this is funny. I'm not trying to make light of it, but look at these absolute clowns. Why is dude in a purple button down, but he has all of the buttons open, so his chain is hanging out? How come he has no socks on with his pants all the way up to his ankles? He should be arrested for this drip. Also, one more time. The way that these people talk about women online has poisoned the brains of like millions of young men throughout the world. It's disgusting. There's nothing more masculine than having your red pill friend take off your chain while you're being arrested for rape and sex trafficking. Lord have mercy.
Back up. Back up. You know who's forced this? Will you be able to pull it up some sort of way? You gotta get this. Okay.
I am so glad this absolute piece of shit is being walked off like this. I am so glad. He's one of the worst human beings out there. Him and his brother both. I'm glad we got the full video too. I'm glad he had to go through the public humiliation of being... That's his brother. That's his brother. That's Tristan Tate. And the reporter even says, anything to say?
Tristan, anything to say?
Nothing to say now, huh? Now you got your mouth closed. All those misogynistic clips. I'm sorry, I still can't get over the irony of them directly tweeting out, "The Tates will be free. Trump is the president." So the guy who's covering up the Epstein files, Donald Trump, is giving the impression that he's also just going to cover up any other sexual exploitations or sexual acts. Seems a little bit on the nose, right? To continue, I'm going to play this clip, I'm going to mute this clip, and I'm going to explain what they're actually being accused.
Oh, this guy's good. I wish I would have saw him when he was in New York. I think he was going to be on CNN a couple of weeks ago. He was here. I'm glad I was here just in the energy. But for real, I mean, I was in Florida. I was in Florida. And anything is a part of Miami is a part of what's going on in Florida. And a lot of people from Jacksonville went to Miami, a lot of young men. And when they came back, their mentality was different. I know because I used to be with them before they went. So what was in Miami that changed your mentality today? Were they a part of the young man that was listening to the advice of these men? Because if I'm walking past somebody's mama, regardless of the fact I got a mama, I don't even need to go there. It's the point of respect. And if I can respect you when you walk in the street, then you got to respect me. They were like just turning against people. And I know Florida represent Trump big time. And a lot of guys was walking with their shirt off. It represented, it was telling you something. And it was telling you, you're going to be the one we're going to be taking. And they'll pass you with a shirt on and then they'll take it off. That's no coincidence. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, that's no coincidence. That's a sign. And you are the target. They were telling you, you are a woman, and we're about to take everything from you. And I just remember so vaguely, is that the word I want to use? How people was helping Trump and other people who felt this way. They were helping them on your job, treating you like you ain't nothing. I heard a lot of women got disrespect. The children, they always wanted our children around them. And then that was a question to me. Can our children be trusted around you? And a lot of them said that about me. But you don't hear these allegations on me. If anything, I got your children from point A to point B, which means when they wanted to miss school, I make sure they got there. That part. That was my fight in Florida. Come on, let's get back to this video.
To continue, I'm going to play this clip, I'm going to mute this clip, and I'm going to explain what they're actually being accused of. So the allegations from the UK are actually different than the Romania allegations, I believe. I believe these guys have been charged in some way no matter where they've gone, but they have trafficked women for sexual exploitation by inviting them over to their place. Some of the allegations even say they would tattoo the women for ownership. They would lure women over to their place in the UK and Romania under this assumption that they were they were in love with the woman. When the woman got there, they would force them to make sexual content. They would take away their passport, and they would do a bunch of absolutely awful stuff. And I think it's very harmful what they're doing. But there's also this harm at scale as well. So they're harming women on an individual level. And it's disgusting. And it's despicable. And they should be locked away. They're also harming people en masse by poisoning the minds of young men and giving them this idea that in order to keep women, you have to treat them like absolute shit. These guys have been responsible for mainstreaming some of the most vile rhetoric surrounding women, treating women, all of this in a while. And as a young dude, I'm always sitting here trying to push back on that type of stuff. I don't have any friends that are like really into this, but you always have people that you went to high school with that you used to know liking stuff and reposting stuff on Instagram, and it's always like Nick Fuentes, Andrew Tate type stuff. These people who are poisoning and rotting the minds of young people are awful human beings, and now we know that for a fact. Breaking: Andrew and Tristan Tate were just arrested by U.S. Marshals in Miami. The brothers were detained outside the venue as the UK's Crown Prosecution Service announced a wave of new charges and a formal extradition request. The new counts against Andrew: 7 further rape charges, 3 of arranging or facilitating trafficking for sexual exploitation, 3 of assault, 19 charges related to indecent images of a child and extreme pornography. This guy is a shitty, awful human. We knew this, but Tristan, his brother, who was wearing, the suit with the hat, faces 2 additional rape counts, 1 sexual assault, and 3 trafficking facilitation charges. The alleged offending spans from July 2010 to July 2017. The CPS says both brothers await extradition proceedings to the UK and warned that criminal proceedings are active with fair trial rights intact. They are absolutely cooked. Look at this tweet from Andrew Tate in 2024. I can't even read this tweet. Nobody should read this. Is disgusting. Donating $200K to, and then he says a slur, to the N-word, Trump. What the absolute hell? This guy is an absolute piece of shit. He's just a rage-baiting troll online. One more piece of the story that many people will miss is that the White House actually intervened on behalf of Andrew and Tristan Tate, the accused sex traffickers, during a federal investigation in the United States. Oliver Larkin says, "We shouldn't have to leave it to the British to seek criminal legal accountability for the Tates." Didn't the British also move on the Epstein files and prosecuting people before we even did? A jury found Trump civilly liable for sexual abuse. 28 women have accused him of sexual misconduct. He's implicated in the Epstein files. Trump must be held accountable as well. This article right here says, the White House intervened on behalf of Andrew Tate. Online influencer Andrew Tate said, quote, "The Tates will be free. Trump is the president." But when the Tate brothers arrived by private plane in Lauderdale, Florida, they immediately found themselves in the crosshairs of law enforcement. This was a while ago. This time, they had a powerful ally come to their aid. Behind the scenes, the White House intervened on their behalf. Interviews and records reviewed by ProPublica show a White House official told senior Department of Homeland Security officials to return the devices to the brothers several days after they were seized. The official who delivered the message, Paul Ingrassia, this is a lawyer who also said he has a Nazi streak in him, is a lawyer who previously represented the Tate brothers. Paul Ingrassia keeps popping up because he said that he has a Nazi streak, then he helped the Tate brothers. In a written request, a copy of which was reviewed by ProPublica, Ingrassia chided authorities for taking action, saying the seizure of the Tate's devices was not a good use of time. Well, guess what, Paul Ingrassia? Not only are you running defense for Nazis, as you were like a year ago, but you are now running defense for someone with 7 counts of rape, 3 counts of child trafficking, 3 counts of bodily harm and assault, and 19 additional charges for child pornography and extreme pornography. Absolutely wild. The incident is a latest in a string of law enforcement matters where the Trump White House has inserted itself to help friends and target foes. This one is pissing me off. This is absolutely disgusting, and I want to continue covering this case as it unfolds. If you want more from the Adam Mockler feed, more debates, more CNN hits, more of our own debate show, and more breaking news, all you have to do is drop a like and subscribe below. Let us know if you enjoy these videos. I'm going to go out and have fun with my girlfriend, my producers. I'm going to have a good night in Chicago. I will see you all in the next one. Peace.
How many secrets? How long do we have to continue with these lies? Who are you servicing? Yes, Adam, I want you to do more videos like this. Until they pinpoint, which I believe, this is my opinion, this reaction, I think it's the white supremacy. I know it's the white supremacy. The white supremacy have taken over many positions, even in the military. And we are feeling it because their agenda is on one agenda, white power. And if white power don't care about prostitution or anything, they ain't care back in our days. They drove the wife out the house, raped your wife, right? Black men know. If they ain't care about us then, what makes you think they care about us now? But you got the power. And the reason why I'm watching the video, because they say these people ain't going to get arrested. Let's hope the people in the Epstein file get arrested. They coming out bold. And we fighting, trying to survive. We ain't trying to prostitute. But they got people who will put you in position who's, if the White House intervene, who you think will intervene on you? Places you be in. It's all for the, he's president. He's the president. We want to make America great again. We want to control again. We not move forward. I've never seen America to move backwards. We may lose some things. We may tremble, fall, break up, split. But some way down the line, our scientists, our politicians, the good ones, is going to get it together. But now you're learning, and we all know that, there's good and bad wherever you work. The thing is the chain gang. What's the chain gang? You heard what he said, the chain gang. When I say the chain gang, what he said was, my friends, they're not into this. That's the chain gang that he's with. They're not into that. Not no gang, but we're chaining together. We in this chain. You know, got the chain wrapped around us. We ain't into that. And I'm trying to get a lot of boys from the hood to not to be into that. Because when you take us down, you take your mother down, your sister down, your niece down, your cousin Nene down. All for a strong word. Ho. My biggest announcement that was in my spirit, God told me to fight for no hoes. Because I've been tried. Trust me, I've been tried. Where people are calling you hoe, they throw that in your ear. Hopefully you'll run for it. And women too. So it's not just men. Trust and believe there are women out there that don't care what happened to you when you walk out in that street. That ain't the chain gang I'm trying to be with. And they're in professional positions sometimes. Look at these men's. $200K? That's a lot of money. So I'm doing this reaction video. My reaction is, thank you. Did I knew what was going on? Yes. But today, he brought clarity. And I've been waiting a long time. Part of the fight. Until next time, chosen ones. BSdiscover.